La Liga is drastically declining. For all of us who grew up watching the La Liga of Lionel Messi, the La Liga of Cristiano Ronaldo, the La Liga of Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Puyol, Piqué, these were legends that whenever the rivals from other Europe come into their stadium, you feel this, you feel the smoke, you feel the atmosphere, you feel that you are playing in a very big stage. The La Liga of Toni Kroos, of Sergio Ramos, of Marcelo, these are big names. The La Liga of the Galacticos during that period. The La Liga of Villarreal, which have Marco Senna, which have Forlan, Atletico Madrid, that has big names like Sergio Aguero, Radamel Falcao, Betis, Sevilla, which is currently the team with the highest Europa League trophy. Currently, the league is going down. What is the good thing we can write about this La Liga at the moment? If this wasn't just enough, if what I'm saying is just false, can you guys just go and look at the stats of this year's La Liga, the La Liga team in Europe? Look at the stats from the Champions League to the Europa League. It's been shambles. The only team now that I think that can hold La Liga up front when it comes to Europe is only Real Madrid and Barcelona. And the history have been telling us that these two teams always go far. But recently, nobody is scared of playing Barcelona. Nobody is scared of playing Real Madrid. Real Madrid just lost last week. Barcelona won, but wasn't convincing. And the league is been declining. It's been declining. And we, the fans, people who came to watch La Liga, who love La Liga, we are keeping quiet. And then you watch Premier League. Every season, season upon season, it is super interesting. You will not tell me that you don't know any team that currently plays for the first division in the Premier League. But I'm going to bet you don't know every team that plays in the first division. Only we that watch La Liga. You don't know any first two. You don't know most of these teams that plays in La Liga. Some of these teams that just come out from second division. If this is not just enough, the president, Javier Tebas, who I don't know how he keeps on winning the election and becoming the president. Since this guy has become the president, the league has been declining. And we, the people who want to watch a league that builded big stars, Messi, Ronaldo, Zidane, Xavi, Iniesta, Ronaldinho, these are names that came out of La Liga that make people want to watch La Liga. When you want to play Madrid, you want to play Barcelona in Camp Nou or in Bernabeu, you will feel the atmosphere. You will be counting the names of the players you want to play against. But now the league has lost that spice. Those big names are now leaving the league. Now you're talking about a team that cannot even sign players. Sevilla is the most shocking thing I heard recently. Sevilla only signed a player for free because they don't even have the capacity to sign more than a 500,000 euro player. But you have Sunderland, who is spending 60 million. You have Burnley spending 70 million, 100 million for players. Aston Villa going into the bank, going into the market, getting players. But this La Liga of Javier Tebas just keep declining. And the funny thing that I don't understand is most of these clubs, they are kind of scared of him. I'm not here to talk about this just to make sure that La Liga sacked Javier Tebas, because I noticed something recently. He's facing a lawsuit, and if he loses the case, he's going to be out of his job. That will be dream of every La Liga fan. But we are analyzing the statistic of La Liga since Javier Tebas has become a president. Apart from Madrid, this season, Madrid and Atletico Madrid, the rest of La Liga team, I couldn't sign a player more than 12 million. Barcelona signed only 12 million. The rest of the team signed players, but they could not register the players. Getafe signed 7 players. They could not register any of them. Even they had to take some of their first team players and sell them to be able to catch up with the FFP. That is why the league is losing its own spice. You come to European competition, you come into the big stage. These La Liga teams are not performing very well. If you look at the last 10 to 15 matches the La Liga team have faced against the English team, they've lost all of them, apart from one that Barcelona won in St. James Park. Even the St. James Park, Newcastle could beat 70% of all the whole La Liga teams if they come face to face in the European League, which is very surprising. A league as big as La Liga is declining drastically, and people are just keeping quiet. And people are just folding their hands. Watch. And we cannot just stand and just allow this thing to happen, because I remember El Clasico. When El Clasico of Ronaldinho against Zidane, you see big stars. You watch El Clasico of Lionel Messi against Ronaldo, you see big stars. But now, we are having a Clasico without spices. The only team that has bigger stars now is Real Madrid. Let's say the league allowed clubs to sign players. El Clasico that just passed would have been one of the best El Clasicos so far. But people are keeping quiet because the league is going down. Sevilla looks like they will be going to the second division if they don't be able to go to the market. Sevilla, since 2 seasons now, are suffering. This is a team with the highest European trophies since it became a European league. I'm talking about Europa League. Sevilla is the team with the highest trophy in Europa League, and still they are suffering to sign players. That is shocking. Atletico Madrid couldn't even go far anymore. This is Atletico Madrid that has Griezmann, that has Koke, that has Fernando Torres, that has Arda Turan, that has a lot of them. Carrasco, these are big names. But now Atletico Madrid couldn't even go far. The league is killing the teams. The league is killing the players. The league is getting boring on daily in, day out. We're just talking about the league getting down. The president is thinking of putting a too big La Liga game in the United States of America, looking for a way to make money, and still people are keeping quiet. It is shocking to see how fast La Liga is declining. And every time you watch the Premier League, it is so entertaining. You will watch Burnley against Crystal Palace. It's like you're watching Atletico versus Villarreal, which is these two teams I'm telling you is a bigger team than these two English teams. And the league is doing nothing about it. It is really, really shocking. And I hope La Liga, and I hope the federation, I hope the president is seeing this, because for me, this should be considered one of the best league in the world, if not the best league in the world, because when it comes to European trophy, Spain has the highest. And when you talk about the biggest games in the history of football, Spain has the highest. And when you talk about the two biggest teams in the world, the two of them comes from Spain. The league has a lot to do. Has a lot to do. If you don't start now, it might be too late. We might be talking about losing some of our star players now. Because as it stands, it seems like it's declining, but it's declining drastically. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you agree with me. And let me know what kind of solution you think the Federation of Spanish Football should do about this. Because if you look at the Champions League and the Europa League, the European tournament, Spanish league teams are going down. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Peace.